can't be free. Everybody wanna judge, say I'm a thug, I'm a player, I'm a simple, why I can't be me? When I walk up in the store, all the Karens get to staring at me. Put my heart in my music, it's still on my sleeve. Everybody been portrayed.
So fam, what's the word? It's your boy Spiritual Trey, and it is now episode 66 of the Soulful Thoughts blog. And today, we're gonna be talking about the 9 steps to preparing for spiritual warfare, part 2, the ascended level. Now, if y'all haven't seen part 1, you definitely want to go check that out, because I was talking about spiritual warfare, which is basically psychological warfare on the ground level, right? I was talking about how we deal with psychological warfare on a day-to-day basis, just dealing with day-to-day people, right? And I gave y'all the tools on how to handle those daily battles. Now today, we're going to be talking on a more broader level, the more ascended level. This video is specifically for spirits that have already ascended or are in the process of ascending. Now, before we dive into it, let's get a definition of that. Now, let's break this down. So, an ascended spirit is a spirit that has risen above natural opposing energies and has escaped mental cages produced within their own internal or external environment. Let me break it down one more time. An ascended spirit is a spirit that has risen above natural opposing energies and escaped mental cages that were produced within their own internal or external environment. Sorry, family. So now that we know what an ascended spirit is, let me give an example. So basically, if you're a person that grew up in a religion and now you're seeing the flaws of that way of thinking, or if you have an outdated character that you're trying to change, like you got a character that you've been portraying your whole life and you're starting to see the flaws of that character that you're portraying, or maybe you just seeing the flaws in the ways that your environment thinks and you're not really trying to be on that same octave anymore. If you in any type of space like that or anything similar, you are in the process of becoming an ascended spirit. And this video is specifically for y'all. So let's dive into it. Oh yeah, before I even dive into it, I gotta explain this too. So the reason why I'm even giving this video is because for us ascended spirits, we all have our different paths that we took to get to our ascended level. You feel me? Some of us did it through religion. You can ascend through religion. Some of us did it through African spirituality. Some of us did it through just living life, going through experiences, trial and error. Whatever the case might be, we all got our different paths, right? And whenever a spirit gets to a certain space to where they feel free, they want everyone around them. And if they're a certain type of spirit, they want everyone, including the ones that's not around them, to elevate to the level that they at, right? Then we can't forget to throw in the fact that the government has threw out all of these different knowledge systems for us to fight over, as a divide and conquer spell. So you got the government sending out all these information systems. You got the people going through these different paths, using these information systems to get to where they at. And boom, you got everyone who's went down their own path of ascension trying to help everyone else ascend through that same path, right? Thus, the psychological warfare. Me and a pastor are technically, me and a pastor would be technically spiritual ops at this point. He trying to get y'all into Christianity. I'm trying to get y'all to see the flaws of any mental system that was created by a human. You feel me? So I'm just trying to get y'all to understand psychological warfare on a higher level. So this video is basically to help y'all decipher which knowledge systems are actually angelic and which ones are demonic. And I can do that without putting down none of y'all beliefs. Just watch me. Continue watching the video to the end. All right, now step 1 for preparing for warfare is shadow work. Specifically observing the logic behind and the source of your knowledge system, of your current perspective. Take the bias out of it, take the emotional attachment out of it, and let me know if the way you look at life really makes sense to you, or if you just emotionally attached to it because that's the perception you grew up in. That's the perception you was born in. Really think about it. And if you can come to the conclusion that, for example, you only in your religion because you were born into it, and you don't really, especially if you don't even have no real emotional connection to it, and you were just born into it, and you kind of like scared to stray away from it because that's what your family into, all right, we one step closer to you becoming free. So that's gonna be the first step. All right, do some shadow work and actually observe if the knowledge perspective that you're claiming actually makes logical sense to you. Then observe the source from it. How did you get to this knowledge system? Were you born in it, or did you discover it? Did life lead you to it? Those are the questions you want to ask yourself. Now, step two is to find the sources of your mentors and your peers' perception. Just have simple conversation with the people that you look up to or the people that you hang around every day. Find out the way that they look at life. Find out why they look at life the way that they do. Especially if it's your mentor. This is part of this actually one of the steps. I probably shouldn't even say it, but your mentor should have a testimony for you to why they got to where you to where you look up to them. It should be some type of testimony that got them to that point. Study the source. Find the source of the people around you, your environment, the way they think. Find the sources of your mental cages within your environment. Now, step 3 is going to be to open yourself up to all angles. After you get to know yourself and your environment a little bit deeper, and you starting to understand the sources of the energies within your environment, now it's time to open your mind up, because guaranteed you're going to start seeing the flaws in the way that your environment thinks and the way that they even came across the way that they think. You feel me? You're going to start seeing flaws in it. It's going to cause you to want to open yourself up more to whatever else is out there in the world, right? And that's the space you want to stay in until your intuition tells you that you've ran across what you've been looking for. You want to open yourself up to all angles, and when I say open yourself up, I'm basically saying detach. You have to detach from all of the knowledge systems that you have been in, that you're starting to see the flaws in, and detach from the validation that you get from your environment from being in it. And remember, y'all, I'm not just talking about religion and the spiritual systems. This can be just an outdated character, like a reputation you've built. If you start to study how you even came into creating this character that you have now that's developed this reputation, you might end up wanting to separate from it and become a totally different person. In order to do that, you got to detach from the old character, right? And the people that actually want to see that old character within you, you got to detach from the thirst of their validation. So detach in order to open yourself up from all angles. That's going to be step 3. Now, step 4 is going to be always remember, human history isn't the end all be all in spirituality. This is something, man, all African spiritualists need to hear this. Human history is not the end all be all when it comes to spirituality. Now, maybe when it comes to humanity, we can care about that. You feel me? If we talk about the study of humans, then yeah, our history does matter. But y'all do know spirit is in all bodies, right? Not just human bodies. See, the human mind became so damn narcissistic, we forget that it's spirit all around us. And the plants, and the animals, this fucking planet, spirit is all around us. Every living being has spirit in it. So what the hell does me being from Africa got to do with spirituality? When we've been around way longer than this planet's existence and any other planet that y'all say we come from. So am I saying that it's wrong to study human history, black history, whatever y'all want to call it? No. But what I'm saying is, don't let your attachment to your skin color dictate your perception when it comes to real spirituality. Because it's guaranteed, y'all, most of y'all knowledge systems cater to a skin color. Whoever skin tone is the people that actually created this shit is going to cater to them. So yeah, that's what y'all want to think about, man, when y'all watching these African spiritual channels or any African history channels or whatever. Yeah, that might be cool information or whatever. And by the way, I can dispute a lot of that descendant from Africa shit too, but that's not the video. We gonna say that for another video. But even if we was all came from Africa, that don't got shit to do with actual spiritual source. Y'all looking for physical sources and calling it spirituality. Where the fuck they do that at other than this planet? Other than in a human species? Don't no other species even care about the tone of their goddamn fur, tone of their skin. We the only ones fight about the shit. And yet we're the most advanced and most spiritual. Man, let me go ahead and move on to the next step before I get to. All right, so step 5 is gonna be psychology and spirituality go hand in hand. So anytime you watching any type of spiritual teacher, if they not teaching you nothing about psychology, nothing about rising above, opposing energies that might be holding you back, nothing about your mental progression as a spirit, you best believe that is fraudulent spirituality. They're catering to some type of bias, whether it's your skin color, whether they're just like it's a tarot reader, a tarot card reader, and they just telling you everything you want to hear. It's something like that going on. Or they can just be misled. A lot of misled motherfuckers, just blind leading the blind type shit. Just know, if anyone's ever claiming that they're a spiritual teacher and they don't teach psychology, that's red flag. You feel me? Now, step 6 to preparing for spiritual warfare is to make sure your teacher doesn't cater to personal bias. Y'all watch me all the time, right? What am I getting out of teaching y'all this? What am I getting? Let's be honest, y'all. I don't be thirsty for likes. I don't be thirsty for donations. It's not me helping y'all get out of mental cages is not doing nothing for my spirit. These are the type of teachings that you want to run across. Teachings to where you can't find no bias that the teacher is trying to get to. I don't watch so-called spiritual videos where the guys wouldn't even start the damn video until they got a certain amount of likes from the group, from their following. A certain amount of likes or a certain amount of viewers. They wouldn't even start talking until they get it. That's red flag shit. Make sure that your teacher isn't catering to a personal bias, even if it's their skin tone. If y'all notice, all African spiritualists are what? Religions do usually cater to a skin tone if y'all pay attention enough. I mean, the KKKs love Christianity, don't they? Arabs are usually Muslim. The word region is in religion. Depending on what region you was born in, probably is gonna dictate the religion you are. You feel me? So I'm just putting little seeds out there, man. It's up to y'all to plant them. But remember, just always remember, your spiritual teacher should never be catering to a personal bias. Am I saying that they can't ask for donations? No, that's not what I'm saying. We all got to eat out here, y'all. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is that should not be their main focus. Period. Now, step 8. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. Step 7, my bad. Step 7 is going to be spiritual teachers should not tell you everything you want to hear. So not only should they not be catering to their own personal bias, but they shouldn't be catering to your bias either. Like they shouldn't be catering to your skin tone, or I just mentioned the tarot readers. They shouldn't be catering to what they think you want to hear because it's cuffing season. They think you might want to hear that your love might be coming around the corner because it's Mercury retrograde. They think you might want to hear that your ex is going to be thirsty over you. That type of shit there is the biggest red flag ever. Catering to what people want to hear. If y'all notice in my channel, I always tell y'all shit that y'all might not want to hear. Your spiritual mentor should be like a spiritual mirror, a mirror almost to you. They put the mirror in front of you and show you the flaws that you need to correct. That's what a spiritual mentor should do. They shouldn't just make you feel great all the time. They should motivate you to want to change. Period. Now, step 8. Step 8 is, I already spoke on this. Step 8 is that every spiritual teacher should have a testimony. And I apologize for speaking on this earlier in the steps, but that kind of all this shit go hand in hand, y'all. So I'm not going to stay on this step too long. But just know, every single spiritual teacher should have a testimony on how they got to the level that they at now. Otherwise, that might be a red flag showing that they probably stealing somebody else's information and trying to make money off of it. If y'all want to know my testimony, you probably just ain't seen the video. Go to my video entitled, What Makes Me Feel Like I Can Life Coach Anybody. I literally explained how my life went from 2021 up into 2023 and how I got, from 2020 to 2022 and how I got to the point to where I am now. The shit that I've been through and how I overcame it. Every spiritual teacher should have a testimony, whether it's religion, spirituality, whatever. Now, step 9. Step 9 is you should feel, I spoke on this too. My bad, y'all. But step 9 is you should feel motivated to break cycles after a spiritual lesson. Let me say that one more time. You should feel motivated to break cycles after a spiritual lesson. You shouldn't be feeling comfortable in your skin. You shouldn't feel like you're the best thing in the world. You should straight up feel motivated to get better. And if you're not feeling like that, you didn't go to a spiritual teacher. You went to a spiritual pimp. They played off your emotions. They just wanted to get you emotionally riled up so you can pour all your energy into them. You feel me? So that's the 9 steps to preparing for ascended spiritual warfare. That's also the 9 steps to knowing on if you're being presented with angelic knowledge or demonic knowledge. Remember, demonic knowledge is always going to play on your emotions, play on your desires. It's going to feed those. Angelic knowledge is going to show you how your desires are demonic and how you need to maybe rise above them. You feel me, family? So yeah, that's the end of the video. I ain't gonna keep it too long. It's your boy Spiritual Trey signing out. Remember, you are not the mind. You are the spirit that's forming and creating your mind. Don't let more advanced spirits who might have gotten to a place that you haven't gotten to pimp you into thinking that their path is the only way. I'm not even trying to tell y'all that my path is the only way. But if y'all pay attention, I haven't even laid out a path for y'all. I just showed y'all the flaws in the path y'all going down. I haven't told y'all to go down no certain path. None in this channel. Never will I ever tell y'all something like that. Because we all individuals. We all got our individual paths to go down. You feel me? So yeah, it's your boy Spiritual Trey signing out. Love you, family.
On the beat, start preaching. Feel no evil, see no evil, but peep it. I don't aim for the stars, I want leeches. And the snake spawn, I'ma kill the whole species. Rest in peace to all the peaceful preaching. The youngest wildin', but they say they evil, that's kinda reaching. Who really controlling the way you thinking? Find the truth.